I want to share with you the 5 points that I hate about owning this Tesla Model 3 Performance, and stick around for the bonus point at the end. When I was doing my research on choosing which EV to buy, I could find 1,001 videos, which I'm sure a lot of you have already seen, about how amazing Teslas are, and their speed and their simplicity, which is all true. But I couldn't find that many videos with a negative slant on real world ownership, other than sort of build quality in general and panel gaps, which we've all heard of 1,000 times, and that certainly isn't an issue anymore. But I wanted to give the main 5 things that I hate about this Tesla, and hopefully this may be of use for you if you're looking to either buy a new Tesla or even a used Tesla, and this might give you a bit of an insight to what it's like owning one. So the first one on the list is the external flush door handles. Yes, they look lovely, and I understand obviously for efficiency, being flush to the bodywork is great, but opening them can be a bit tricky at first, especially if you're not used to opening a Tesla door handle. You have to sort of manipulate your thumb and your hand into a way that's just not natural normally. And if you look at any other sort of handles, whether it be other cars or drawer handles or kitchen door handles, there's normally something to grab hold of. Whereas these handles, you have to sort of do some sort of thumb finger movement to get the door handle latch to open. In fairness, it's quick to get used to. Once you've owned the car for a while and you've been in and out the doors a few times, it does become almost intuitive or muscle memory. But yeah, if you're having to explain to anyone who's never got into a Tesla before how to open a door handle, it does become a bit tedious. And also, I'm thinking if you suffer with problems with your hands, like arthritis and stuff like that, then yeah, they might become a pain. The other thing that you discover once you picked up your new Tesla or your used Tesla is that having a black flush door handle against a black car can pose a few issues when you're parked up in a very dark or poorly lit area. You find yourself sometimes fumbling around trying to actually find the door handle itself before you can actually get the door open. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. Internal door handles can also be a bit of a pain. They're very easy to use, as in it's just a button to open the door. But again, for people that have never been inside a Tesla before and are trying to get out of the door, you do find, especially up front on this Model 3, that people end up reaching or pulling the emergency door release instead of pressing the button, and then you run the risk of damaging the glass on your door. So what you may find yourself doing is giving people who've never got out of a Tesla before a briefing on how to exit the vehicle, which is a little strange, and you almost feel like a air steward providing details on how to exit an airplane. Again, once you had the Tesla for a while, it's just become second nature. But as I say, it's just frustrating that for people that have never been in the car before, you have to keep explaining it. So number 2 on the list is the rear vision from this car. You only sort of realise what it's like after you've been driving it for a while. But yeah, when you're looking at the rear view into the rear view mirror, cars just seem so close that they actually really are. So I'll try and demonstrate that in a minute. I don't know about you, but I get quite frustrated when it feels like people are tailgating me. Yeah, in reality, they're probably not actually nowhere near as close as it looks like when they are in the rear view mirror. But then you get a different view when you look on the camera as well. So I don't know if this is picking it up, but the car behind, obviously facing the other way, but it looks quite close in the rear view mirror. I don't know if you can see how big this rear view mirror is, but they're quite small. And you can see that the parcel shelf is actually slanting upwards slightly as well, just to restrict that view a bit more. But when you go and look at the rear view camera, the car in question looks quite a distance away. But in reality, this is how far the cars are apart. So yeah, maybe it's just me, maybe it's my aging eyesight. But yeah, when you're looking in the rear view mirror, it always looks like cars are right up your backside. So number 3 on the list, and this might be a controversial one, is Sentry Mode. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Sentry Mode. So for those that aren't aware, that Sentry Mode is utilising all the cameras around your car, and you've almost got a 360-degree CCTV system that's constantly recording or watching while you're away from your car, and will capture any damage or people trying to get into your car, all that sort of good stuff. But the bit I actually hate about Sentry Mode is that when I'm coming to review some of the footage, I'm constantly seeing people not giving a toss and, you know, brushing past your car, opening their car doors into your car. Yeah, it's just, that's the bit I hate about Sentry Mode is reviewing the footage, because it just shows, you know, I'm getting a bit off topic, but how you know, society seems to be going about nobody really cares about other people's, you know, possessions that people have worked hard for. So that's the bit I hate about Sentry Mode. In some ways, I mean, ignorance is bliss. Obviously, when you come back to your car and you've found a little dent or something into your car and you don't know who's done it, or you haven't seen who's done it, then you just have to accept it. So when you're watching it back on a camera, on a screen in high def, people just, yeah, as they just don't care, then yeah, it gets quite frustrating. So number 4 on the list is ride comfort. So I have a 2023 Model 3 Performance. Yes, being a performance version, the ride handling is pretty harsh, as in it's very crashy. You feel every bump in the road, drain cover. So I understand that from the Model 3 Performance, especially with these 20-inch wheels. But my understanding, speaking to others as well, the older version Model 3s, whether it be the long range or even the standard range, yeah, the ride comfort is still, you know, pretty harsh from my understanding. Yeah, so that takes a bit of getting used to. I'm always, especially the state of the UK roads at the moment, always wincing every time I even just hit a small pothole or a drain cover. My understanding that the new Model 3, the Highland version, the suspension's a bit softer, and specifically the Model 3 Performance has the adaptive suspension. But yeah, this 2023 model, yeah, the ride handling is pretty hard. So number 5 on the list is the paintwork. So I've never owned a car where if you look at the paintwork in the wrong way, then you have a problem. This is the 2023 model in black, and the paint on this car just seems so thin. It just picks up every bit of road rash, chip, even just brushing past things, it just picks up scratches, and paint swirls in this car are pretty horrific. I know black cars are more prone to this than other colours, but I have owned other black cars in the past, and it just doesn't seem nowhere near as bad as this one does. It just seems to pick everything up, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, so it's quite frustrating, because I was trying to keep the car looking nice, but it's without paying, you know, hundreds if not thousands of pounds for lots of paint protection and film and ceramic coating and that, which I don't see why I should have to really pay that to protect the paintwork on this car. But yeah, I just find the paintwork not great. But I don't know what it's like on the new Model 3 Highland versions. I don't know if it's any better with them. So yeah, let me know in the comments if the paint work has improved on the new versions. But yeah, I'm not particularly impressed with the paint on this Model 3. So the bonus item on my list isn't even related technically to the actual car itself, but it was the tyre choice that Tesla fitted on these cars when you picked them up, and that was the Pirelli P0s. These tyres were horrendous in my humble opinion. Within just a couple of thousand miles, I'd already replaced 3 out of the 4 tyres, and this was due to damage on the sidewall of the tyre. Obviously, I know the state of these roads in the UK at the moment are horrendous. And this is obviously a heavy car, and it's performance tyres, so they're low profile. I don't think this issue was unique to me. I'd seen lots of posts on Tesla Facebook groups of people having the same issue with these Pirelli P0 tyres with massive bulges in the side walls. My tyres were all swapped out within, I think it was around about 3,000 miles of driving, and swapped them out to Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, and I've done nearly 25,000 miles on those, and I've not had any issues with them. So I think it was definitely the tyre itself, the Pirellis, was the problem, and not even so much the roads. The roads have certainly not improved around here where I am. If not, they've got even worse. But yeah, touch wood, I haven't had any problems with these Michelins. So yeah, the Pirelli P0s I would look to avoid if I was you. If you did find these insights useful, you might like to check out some of my other videos about owning a Tesla and overall EV ownership. Also, if you are thinking about buying a new Tesla, then please feel free to use my referral code, which is linked in the description below, which may save you some money. So until the next time, catch you later.